Welcome to shared reading for Friday, the 3rd of April. Today, this will be our last day looking at the text, My Two Blankets. So we're learning to understand the text we're reading. We've been focusing on inferring. We did that one yesterday. We've been looking at making predictions before we read and as we read. We've been looking at modifying those predictions as we read. We've also looked at making connections, text to text, text to world, text to self. And today we're actually going to focus a bit more on understanding and identifying the author's purpose. So why has the author written this text? Why has the author chosen to write a book about this girl called Cartwheel who's moved to a foreign country and has had to weave her old life with her new life? So we'll be focusing on the author's purpose and also her point of view. As we're reading the last few pages today, I want you to think about the last few pages, but I also want you to reflect on what we've already read. So why do you think Irina Cobold wrote My Two Blankets? What is her point of view? What message is she trying to convey through this narrative? At first, my new blanket was thin and small, but every day I added new words to it. The blanket grew and grew. I forgot about the cold and lonely waterfall. Now there's two metaphors there, because I know that she's not talking about an actual waterfall. She's talking about the language that she didn't understand. She described that as being cold and lonely, the language that the other girl spoke. So her new blanket is growing. Her new language and her new knowledge is starting to grow. What do you think Irina Cobold is trying to convey there? What message is she trying to give us as readers? Now my new blanket is just as warm and soft and comfortable as my old blanket. And I know that no matter which blanket I use, I will always be me. So I'm just going to flick back to that other page. So I want you to have a look at the images there. What does she mean by her new blanket being warm, soft, and comfortable? What does she mean that they're both just as comfortable as each other? What does that mean about her language? What does she understand? Is it just the language? Because I'm seeing some symbols here and I'm starting to wonder. I didn't see these symbols on her other blanket. So maybe she didn't have these words or these symbols or these pictures in her old language, in her old blanket. What does she mean by I will always be me? So your task today is to answer these questions. So what was the purpose of the text, My Two Blankets? Why did Irina Cobold write the text? And what is her point of view? So what is she trying to teach us as readers, as learners, as Year 5 and Year 6 students? What is she trying to teach us? What's she trying to make us feel? Is she trying to teach us something? Is she trying to send a message, or is she trying to make us feel something? And we've all learnt something through this text. We've all felt something. We've all made connections. So that's your job today. You need to answer those 3 questions. There's 3 there. Once you've done that, you then need to finish off all other shared reading tasks for the week. Once you've completed the task, please click Hand In so your teacher knows you have completed the tasks and can provide you with some feedback. Now that Hand In button is in the top right-hand corner of your Google Doc, where it usually says share, it will say Hand In. Finish all those tasks off, please, today, Year 5 and Year 6, and then click Hand In.